Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So in today's video I'm going to show you few simple and basic flower painting. These are simple flowers and easy to paint, and you can utilize these flowers as a flower filler. I'm using two different sizes of brush, that is size 6 and size 9 round brush. You can use mop brush as well if more water is needed. So let's start with the first flower. You need to create some random petals, keeping one negative space in the middle to create the center part of the flower. In this flower, I can only suggest one thing, that is just do it quickly without thinking much. For the base petal, if you can create a U kind of shape, then you will get a different perspective. So that is something you can consider if you don't know the logic behind perspective and all. I have created separate video around perspective of flower, so if you want you can refer to that video to learn about it. And accordingly you can create some random petals like this, keeping one negative space in the center. And adding these random petals sometimes creates a beautiful flower. So sometimes we don't need rules to create things, right? So you can create like this, you can create multiple flowers. I'm creating only two for now using very light shade of pink color. You can create flower birds as well if you want to, but I think we are fine with these two flowers for now. Now if you want you can add a little bit of dark shade into it, but I'm not doing it, I'm keeping it as is. Now for the center part of the flower I'm using black color, and it is spreading a little bit into the center as you can see, but that is fine, I'm okay with it. Now you can create leaves with the help of green color, and you can create stems as well. So create two stems for two flowers and create random leaves here and there. While creating leaves or while creating petals, you just need to understand how much pressure you need to apply into your brush and in which direction you want to move your brush to get a specific shape into it. So apply pressure, move your brush towards left and right to get these structures. So I'm creating three leaves like this. And I think we are done. We're going to come back for the middle section once it gets dried completely. Now let's move to the second one. So for the second flower, with the help of clean water, you can create a tulip kind of shape. You can do it with very light color as well, instead of using clean water, so that you can see things clearly. So basically we are creating one big C kind of shape and opposite C to cover it and to make it look like a flower. Now as our area is wetted enough, you can use other colors as well, like I'm using purple color and blue color together to create these petal kind of shape and to convert all these flowers into tulip kind of structure. So you can use different color, you can use only one color for one single flower. Right now I'm using two different color to get something like this. You can keep the shades little lighter, little darker, totally fine and totally up to you, like how you want to create all these flowers. Create some random structure at the tip of the flower to showcase there are multiple other petals in it, and then you can create stems and leaves. Now you can create stems and leaves, and you can use different shades of green color for each different flower. I'm using very light shade of yellow and green mix, more yellow and less green into it. Now when it comes to the leaf, I'm keeping the leaves little longer for this particular flower, but let me correct the flower shape a little bit. So keep the leaves little longer, so drag your brush a little bit extra to create longer structure like this, and apply little pressure into your brush to get appropriate amount of thickness. You can keep the leaf perspective also a little bit tilted towards left right. And let's do the middle part again for this particular flower. So I'm adding little extra dots around the main dot that we have with the help of black color itself. Now we're done with these two flowers. Now let's move to the third one. So the third one is my favorite. It's very simple and easy to paint. You just need to create circles with the color, and the area should be wetted enough so that we can move to the next step. The lower one should be the biggest one, and as you are moving upward direction, you can keep the size of the circle smaller. So I have created multiple circles like this in a string or in a line, keeping the size smaller and smaller as we are moving upward direction. Now keep the area wetted enough so that when you add dots into it, it will spread a little bit and gives you a fluffy kind of structure. So I'm adding the dark shade of blue color around one side of the circle, adding multiple dots in it to make it little fluffier. So these are flowers, and you can keep the edges also with the help of little dots in it so that you can have better structure for your flower. Now you can create stems and leaves for this particular one as well. So I'm keeping the middle string. You can keep the flowers little bit towards left and right, it's also fine, or you can keep the flower in the center also, totally fine. Now you can create some random green structure at the tip of the flower to resemble or to make it look like multiple flower birds are there, and you can create multiple leaves towards left and right around this particular strings to create green pattern into it. So I'm creating small leaves around this string to create small leaves in here, and something like this you can do. So fourth one is like a wildflower. So the structure is like lavender flower, but we are using different color and painting it in a loose way. So define multiple smaller flowers, creating some random dots into it, and you can create a structure like this having one pointed end in it and keeping little bit of negative space in each group that we have. So I'm starting with the yellow color, and you can use different colors as well. I'm using yellow color, orange color and red color together to create this particular one, and you can repeat the same thing to create multiple other flowers. So basically we are creating small flowers combines together to create one single flower like lavender. So the concept is same, the structure is same, the only thing is we are doing it in a loose form with different shades of color in it. So let's repeat the same thing one more time using orange color and red color together. You can create as many as flower you want to. I think these flowers are very good when it comes to the flower fillers. So you can create something like this. Then you can add middle string with the help of green color, and you can create leaves also like we have done for the second flower. I'm keeping the leaves little longer for this particular one as well, as this is more towards the lavender flower, but you can use whatever you like to. Anyways, all these are imaginary flowers, so I don't know whether these flowers really exist or not, so it's totally depend on you how you want to convert all these flowers into. So we are done with this particular one as well. Now let's move to the fifth one. So for the fifth one, is like lavender but more defined shape in it. So create small petals or leaf kind of shape to create groups of flowers in it. So I'm using tip of my brush to create all these smaller structure like we did for the earlier one, but this is more defined structure of flowers in it. I'm creating 2 to 3 groups of flower. These are small groups tilted towards left right. You can keep it straight as well, and you can use 2 different colors as well. So I'm using purple color and pink color to create these small petals, and then with the help of green color you can create the middle string and you can create the leaves as well. So this is more towards the lavender flower, but again all these flowers are wildflower inspired by the real flowers. So I'm keeping the middle string with the help of green color. You can define some small sepals in between these flowers with the help of green color, and then you can create stems and leaves, same like we did for the previous one. So last one is inspired by the cherry blossom. So I'm moving my brush in a way that we can create petals in a round shape. So I'm keeping 4 to 5 petals for one single flower. So I'm creating group of flowers with very light shade of gray color to make these flowers white in color. So you can keep few petals little smaller and few petals little bigger to get different perspective. I have created a separate video around perspective of cherry blossom, so if you want you can refer to that video. I can give you a link into my description section. So once you are done with your flowers, you can create these stems with the help of brown color. So whatever negative space I can see in between, I'm creating the stems. Basically I want to make a stem having full of flowers into it. So that's why you can create something like this, inspired by cherry blossom or apple blossom. And then you can create leaves also in between these flowers and stems. And once your flower gets dried completely, we are going to add stamens into this particular flower to finish. So once done with your stems, you can add leaves with the help of green color. We don't need too much leaves as we have created so many flowers in it, so keep the leaves minimum. And then you can add stamen. So for the stamen you can use orange color to create multiple dots around the flower. So I'm creating dots around the flower randomly. You can do it based on the perspective of flowers as well, and do it for all the flowers that we have. And once done with the dots, with the help of very light shade of green, you can add lines attaching those dots with the flower to complete the stamen. And we need to repeat the same thing for all the flowers that we have, and we are done with this particular flower as well. Hope this video is helpful for you guys, and please do let me know if you have any feedback for me. And thank you so much for all your love and support and watching my videos. See you guys in the next video.